Hello, brothers and sisters out there. How you doing this evening? This is a new week that we're about to enter into. Thank you, God, for getting us here tonight. We're going to have a good show here tonight, my brothers and sisters. There's something very serious that I need to address tonight. I'm going to give a few more people an opportunity to join this particular broadcast this evening. And I hope that you all had a good past week. And I hope that you had a good weekend, and now we're into another week. So, my brothers and sisters, let's give a few more people an opportunity to tune in or chime in with us so we can get into this good topic tonight. It's going to be very important, and it's going to be very informative. So, come on in, my brothers. Come on in, my sisters. We got some seats in the front. You ain't got to stay in the back. So, come on in. Sit in the front. So we can get into this good content. If you have anything that you would like to add to the show tonight, my brothers and sisters, feel free to make your comments and be very respectful to the other brothers and sisters on this broadcast. We got a few more seconds to go, and we are about to dive into this particular topic for tonight. It's going to be very rewarding. It's going to open up some of your minds so some of you brothers and sisters can understand what some brothers and sisters are going through, and maybe you are currently going through it right now yourself. Hopefully you're not, but we are going to discuss it a little tonight, and then we're going to discuss how to come up with a remedy to get past this particular thing that I'm going to talk about tonight. A few more seconds, and then we'll begin into tonight's broadcast. I hope that you brothers and sisters are ready to get to this particular show. Yes indeed. My, how you doing, brothers and sisters out there? I hope that you all doing well. If this is your first time looking at this particular broadcast, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I talk about relationships. I talk about relationships from a biblical perspective. When I say a biblical perspective, I mean I strongly believe in the relationship between a man and a woman. That's my position. And I get this from when I read the book Genesis. God had a unique relationship with the man Adam. He secondly had a unique relationship with the woman Eve. And he brought the man and the woman together as one. And the man said, before God, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call a woman because she came from man. That's the type of relationship I strongly believe in. However, my brother and sister, if you have a preference for another type of relationship, you have what is called a free will. But if you look at this particular broadcast, I talk about the relationship from a biblical perspective. You may agree with me, you may not, but you could look at the particular show and maybe you can get something out of it. And with that said, my brother and sister, tonight's topic is 3 reasons why it's hard to break a bad soul tie. Again, 3 reasons why it is very hard to break a bad soul tie. My brother and sister, before we get into it, have you ever heard of this terminology called soul tie? Now, there's a soul tie, and then there is a soul mate, and there's a difference between the two. Some people get soul tie, and some people get soul mate incorrect. Both they have a distinct difference. Now, there are some of you brothers and sisters that are looking at this particular broadcast tonight. You have or you are currently dealing with a certain type of addiction. Now, what is an addiction? An addiction, my brother and sister, is defined as a strong and harmful need to regularly have something. That's what an addiction is. It is a strong and harmful need that you really desire. Now, an addiction, my brother and sister, that is what I'm going to be talking about tonight. And the particular addiction that I'm talking about is going to be soul tie. Now, my brothers and sisters, if you are dating someone, that means, my brother and sister, if you are single and brother, you are interested in a woman, not women, plural. sister, if you're interested in a man, not men, plural, you shouldn't be dating randomly. You shouldn't be dating randomly, because it's very, very dangerous, my brother and sister, if you just date several people at the same time. It's very dangerous, and I'm going to get into the point while I'm saying it's very, very dangerous when you spreading yourself thin. You, my brother, and you, my sister, when you are dating, you should be dating with a purpose in mind. You see, that's what you should do. You shouldn't be dating just to have fun, and you shouldn't be dating just because you're bored. If you are dating, my brother, if you are dating, my sister, brother, if you have a desire for the companionship of a woman, and sister, if you have a desire for the companionship of a man, you should be dating with purpose. Now, what that purpose is, my brother and sister, if you get into a relationship with a man, you want a companion, there's nothing wrong with desiring a companion. But you see, my brother and sister, your life is very, very important. Not only is your life very, very important, but the life of that person that you have brought into your, well, possibly going to bring into your life is important. So when you date, brothers, when you date, sisters, don't just say, I'm just doing it for fun. You have purpose, my brother. So you got to realize your purpose when you're trying to bring somebody into your life. You, my brother, you have value, and sister, you have value too, understand? But the key thing is purpose. Now, my brother and sister, are you aware that everyone that you date and have sex with, you exchange more than body fluids? You understand it, my brother and sister? Everyone that you have or you currently having sex with, I'm talking to you single brother and you single sister, everyone that you have had sex with in the past, everyone that you're having sex with currently as I speak, you're doing more than passing along body fluid. But we're going to talk about that just a little later. My question to you, my brother and sister, as of tonight, or do you have some type of addiction? When I say some type of addiction, I'm talking about a soul tie, not a soulmate, a soul tie addiction. Now, my brother and sister, there is a very big difference between what a soul tie is and what a soulmate is. And I'm going to break it down this way. Now, my brother and sister, when it comes to a soulmate means that a man and a woman, they mate together, they intertwine together, and they are bound together. What do I mean by that? In the right way, from a spiritual standpoint, that man and woman, they come, and you know I always say this, my brother and sister, that man and woman, they have had a meeting of the mind, the will, and the emotion. That involves the soul, the mind, the will, and emotion. That's what the soul is. The mind, the will, and the emotion. Now, the man and woman, they have became serious with one another. That's a meeting of the mind. That man and woman have verbally committed to one another. When I say committed, that man and woman, they have verbally committed. The man is not guessing that he's in a relationship with the woman. The woman is not guessing that she's in a relationship with the man. How you doing, mother? But they have verbally agreed, so both man and woman are on the same page. And once that man and woman are serious, a meeting of the mind, that man and that woman, they willfully commit in their heart, their emotions, and that leads to an engagement period, which should lead to the covenant part, which is a marriage. Because like I tell you, my brother and sister, if you look at it from God's point of view, God never wants a man and a woman just to be kicking it. God don't want a man and a woman just to be going together. God don't want no man and a woman to play house. God wants you to be serious about a relationship, my brother and sister, because you, my brother, and you, my sister, life is so serious. You have a life expectancy of 70. What does 70 mean? A score, my brother and sister, it represents 20 years. So the average life expectancy, not according to what the United States say or none of the research, I'm talking about from a biblical standpoint, every man and every woman have a projected 70 years of life. Now, a score means 20. So Brother and sister, you have an average projected life expectancy of 70 years to live. So if you have an average, excuse me, I got something stuck in my throat. But hold on for a moment. If you have a projected 70 years to live, my brother and sister, that don't mean that you're going to make it. And then again, you can make it. So you, my brother, you, my sister, you have to do something very serious with your life as you live, especially when you bring someone else's in your life. Now, brothers and sisters, those of you that are coming in to tonight's broadcast is 3 reasons why it's hard to break a bad soul tie. Now, like I said, a soul tie and a soul mate is different. You understand? A soul mate, as I just described, it means a man and a woman, they mate. They're made to be together. They're intertwined and they're bound together. Whereas, and that's the soul, whereas a soul tie, and this is where it's a reversal. It's a flip of the coin. A soul tie, my brother and sister, is bound by the flesh. That means sex. You understand? That means sex. Now, do you remember, my brother and sister, when I started this particular broadcast, do you remember I said something earlier like, everyone that you have had sex with, my brother, every woman that you have had sex with, my brother, sister, every man that you have had sex with, it was more than exchanging body fluids. Everyone that you have had sex with, my brother, every woman, sister, every man that you have had sex with, it was more than casual. How you doing, Sister Flo Harvey Martin? How you doing? Everyone that you have had sex with, brother, and everyone that you have had sex with, sister, they are a part of you. You might not recognize it, but you got to understand it, my brother and sister, you're made with 3 components. You're made with a spirit, you're made with a soul, and you're made with a body. Anytime, let me tell you, let me really expound this to you, my brother and sister. I'm not going to explain, I'm going to open you up to it. Let me tell you this. Sex is not casual. You may get a good physical feeling out of it. You may have a bad experience with it. But my brother and sister, if you willfully are engaged in sexual activity with someone, and I'm talking about from a single perspective, you may have a good physical sensation while you're in the middle of doing it, right? It could be a good physical thing, but it's more than the physical part. Everyone, my brother and sister, you may not feel it, but every man, sister, that you have had sex with, he did more than release semen into your vaginal area. He released his energy into you. Brother, every woman that allowed you to come into her body, she did more than release her moistness on you. She released her energy on you. So it was more than the physical. Some of you brothers and sisters right now, some of you have lost count of how many people you have been sexually involved with, and some of you may know how many people you have been sexually involved. But everyone that you have been sexually involved with, my brother and sister, they were not your soul mate. Now, it could get very, very tricky at this particular time. It could be very, very tricky what I'm about to say, my brother and sister. Listen up. Does anyone, my brother, or does anyone, my sister, have a hook on you? Not only on you, we're going to just scratch that out entirely. Does anyone have hooks embedded in you? Does someone have their hooks embedded in your mind? You can't forget them. You willfully want to let them go, but they got a hook on you, and they may not even be around you anymore. That man or that woman may be on into his or her life, or that man or woman is so bad for you, and you realize it, you feel it, and you know you need to be from around that person, but that person, my brother, that person, my sister, got a hook on you. And you may not want to acknowledge that a person got a soul tie hook into you. And you know that it isn't good for you, my brother and sister. I'm talking about a particular person. Now, a man or a woman can have a soul tie on you, brother and sister, like I said, and you and that person relationship, you have both stopped talking to one another. But my brother and sister, sometimes there's this one particular person that you cannot get out of your mind. Even though you may have started dating someone else, even though you could possibly marry to someone, but there's this one particular man, sister, or brother, there's this one particular woman that you find your mind drifting towards. There's this one particular man or this one particular woman, my brother and sister, that you hope that your phone ring. There's this one particular man and woman. How you doing, Sister Sherry Smith? There's this one particular man and woman that you're looking for a text or email or some form of communication. There's a certain type of man or woman, if they got social media, you looking to see are they going to respond to something that you post, or you consistently going to his or her page seeing what's going on. Those of you that are coming in tonight, tonight's topic is 3 reasons why it's hard to break a bad soul tie. And like I just expounded, not explained, I said that a soul tie, well, a soulmate is someone that you are intertwined with, you mate, and you're bound together, which means, as you all know, I always say that triple threat, that's someone that you are serious with in the mind, someone that you are committed to, you verbally committed to that person, so both man and woman know what time it is. And then the covenant part, you are in engagement period, or you're moving towards marriage, or that's what you're doing, or you going ahead getting married. It got to be those 3 cycles. Other than that, my brother and sister, I got to tell you the truth, my brother and sister. If you're just dating a one person, even you could just be dating one person. Listen to what I'm saying. You could be dating one person, but you're not soulmates, because you did not cross that final part. You see, from the world standpoint, you might think you're a soulmate. And a lot of you brothers, a lot of you sisters, you confuse yourself that you're soulmates. You're not soulmates until you jump that final line. Now, you see, the conflicting part is you are not soulmates, you are soul tied. And the soul tie came in, my brother and sister, when you start having sex with that man or woman. Like I always said, sex is more than casual. Sex is more than exchanging body fluids. You exchange energy. And like I keep telling you, my brother and sister, every man, sister, that you have allowed to come inside your body and release semen in, he did more than release semen. He released his energy in you. And some of you brothers, the woman that her moistness, it was more than her moistness that was on you. She released her energy into you, so you are tied together. You got tied by having sex with that man and woman. That's why it's very difficult for some of you brothers and some of you sisters. You just cannot get that certain person out of your mind. Some men and women, they don't have nothing in common but sex. That's all. Some men and women, they just been having sex for years. That man and woman, they could be with other people. That man and woman could be married, but sex is their common denominator that bring that man and woman together. They will make time to see one another just purely for sex. That man and woman, they could be married, they could be having sex with their mates and stuff like that, but it's just something about this other person. And it's, you see, you think it's physical. In your mind, you think it's physical, but it's deeper than that. You understand? It's deeper. Now, some of you brothers and sisters, you're at the point right now whereas some of you I'm talking to tonight, you're currently in a soul tie situation. You know that this man or woman is no good for you. Some of you going to be feeling most stressed out during this particular week. What am I talking about? This week is Christmas week, if you celebrating Christmas and stuff like that. Christmas is supposed to be family oriented and all that kind of stuff, bells and whistles, you know. But you want, and you see, you want that one particular person to share this time of the year with you. And not only that, you want this one particular person to share New Year's with you, right? You know the little song, Christmas just ain't Christmas without the one you love. New Year just ain't New Year without the one you love. You all heard that song before, right? Some of you going to go through some emotional trauma this week. Because the person that not good for you, you want that person to be with you, but you don't. You want that person to change, but he or she will not change. You see, at the beginning of the relationship, my brother and sister, it appeared that the relationship was good, right? Basically, at the beginning of most relationships, it appeared to be good. But once you start communicating verbally, once you start communicating non-verbally, and when I said the non-verbal, when you bring the sex into the situation, how you doing, Sister Robinson? When you bring the sex into the situation and you're not doing it the right way, you get soul tied. Most people, my brother and sister, let me give you an example. Let's say cocaine. Most men and women that are hooked on cocaine, that was an origin. That was a beginning. That man and woman thought that he or she was an exception to the rule. That man and woman thought that I could try that product. Other people got hooked, but I'm too smart. I'm too smart to get hooked. I'm going to just dibble and dabble in it just a little bit. And when I dibble and dabble a little bit, I could pull myself away when I get ready. That's what most people think, my brother and sister, that they have tried the drug called cocaine. Now, you have all kinds of addiction. You have alcohol, people that play, that gamble a lot, all that. Those are addictions. And you know what I said an addiction is, my brother and sister? An addiction is defined as something strong and harmful that need to be done regular. You are compelled to do this regular. And sex, soul tie, is an addiction. But you don't want to admit it. Some of you brothers and sisters, if you listen to me right now, just think about it. What holding you and that person together? You and that person may not even speak. You could have bad communication, but when you went and had sex with that person, my brother and sister, that's when it happened. Every man and every woman is not going to affect you on the surface. You understand? Sister Robin said, it sure is, especially if it's good. That's right. Sister Robin just hit a point, my brother. So let me tell you, thank you, Sister Robin, for saying that. When you, my brother and sister, single, I'm basically talking to my single brother and sister, when you are expressing your sexual desire with someone, it can feel good on a physical level. It can really give you a sense of feeling good on a physical level because you get a gratification. You understand? You get a temporary gratification. And it feels good. And the reason why it feels good, my brother and sister, is because, let me tell you this. You can have sex with different people, but you see, the physical part, it could be but then you have a person that the physical part appears to be on point, and then what it does, it starts on the outside and it moves in. You see, sex starts outside, then it goes in. So you have sex with someone. So this man and woman, they're interlocked, right? So you exchanging more than body fluid, okay? You willfully put yourself into that situation. What do I mean willfully? Remember I said the soul now. You willfully on the inside, you willfully committed your body to be with that person. That's what you willfully doing. So you willfully accepted that person's soul to be a part of you. So you willfully accepted that man or woman emotions. You willfully accept that man's thought processes. But you don't realize it's deep, my brother and sister. It's deep. So you thought that once you exchanged body fluids and you had a good roll around in the bed or however you all did it, and then you find yourself, when that person go, you start craving for that person. And you crave more, especially, this is for a lot of you sisters. Now, some brothers go through this, but this is for a lot of you sisters. How do you feel, or how did you feel, or how do some of you currently feel right now? You ain't got to raise your hand. You've been having sex with this person. You had sex with someone. And when you had sex with someone, that man, sister, is somebody that you really like, right? Because majority of the time, not all the time, majority of the time when a woman has sex with a man, they somewhat like the man. We're not talking about no prostitute and all that kind of stuff. We're not talking about exchanging services for monetary means. We're not talking about that. We talk about when the average woman has sex with a man, she tends to like the man somewhat. So she allowed this man to enter into her body. The man was already ready to do it anyway, sister. Call majority of the time, if you want to have sex with a man on day one, more than likely he's not gonna say let's wait for 90 days. The average man gonna take you up on that offer. Okay, so you have sex with the man. So you have sex with the man, sister, and if this man living in his own quarters and you live in your own quarter, your own house, home, apartment, condo, wherever you live at, cave, wherever you live at, you, sister, you're looking for that man when he leave. If you're honest, sister, you're looking for that man when he leaves. You're looking for that man to call you, or you're looking for that man to text you. You prefer him to call you. What happens, sister, when you have sex with this man that you like and he gone and he don't call you? Some of you have been there, or you have heard this before. He doesn't call you. He doesn't text you. You feel used, right? You start thinking, something told me not to do it, but I did it anyway. You feel used. Now, what if he start calling you again, and you and that man continue to start having sex, right? And brother, same thing can happen to you. You and this woman, y'all continue to have sex, and you talk, you go out and all that kind of stuff. Then what about when you start seeing some negative stuff from that person? You don't like all that negative activity. What you seeing now, brother and sister, it was in that person when you had sex with them. Because at the beginning of our relationships, I always say you don't see the full person at the beginning of a relationship. So when you start having sex with someone, you start loosening up more. You start letting that person know more about who you are, right? So when you're allowing that person to know more about who you are, and then the relationship doesn't appear to work out, you start feeling some type of way, right? The soul tie. How you doing, Sister Brown? So you start feeling some type of way, right? And you can't get it. And at this point, some of you brothers and sisters right now, I'm talking to some of you married brothers and sisters right now. That's right, Auntie, think I'm at the wrong head. I'm talking to some of you brothers and sisters right now. Some of you brothers and sisters, you are married right now. But you still, you're a soulmate with your husband, sister. Brother, you're a soulmate with your wife, but you so tied, brother, to another woman from your past. And sister, you're so tied to another man from your past. You're not delivered. You're soul tied. You think about that person so much. You ain't seen that person in a long period of time. You're waiting for that call. And you're waiting for that text. And guess what? When you get that call and when you get that text, you don't even have to be angry at your mate. Your husband or wife, you ain't even got to be angry with them. You will make provision to go see that person or meet up with that person. This is what soul tie do. Soul tie will pull you out of your house, brother and sister. All that man and woman have to do is make that call or that text, and you will go and have sex with that person. And you think it's nothing to it. You just think y'all having sex, right? That's what you think. You just think you're having sex. There's more to it. Now, let's say you're not married. You're not married, brother and sister. You're not married. You're single. That man and woman could be in another relationship, or they could be married. But when they come and you all have your little festivities, you keep intertwining, you keep reconnecting. You know what I mean? You keep doing all this, my brother and sister, and it's causing you trauma. You, my brother, and you, my sister, you are addicted. You're not addicted. You see, some people want to say you addicted to the penis. You addicted to the vagina. No, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. Oh, yeah, you like that part. You like the penis going to the vagina and the vagina circling around the penis. Oh, you like that part, but it's deeper than that. That's the part that got you where you're at right today. It haven't been broken. Some of you brothers and sisters, you are right now, it could get to the point where it become abusive. Especially, how you doing, my little sister Renee? Especially some of you sisters. Let me tell you about this, some of you sisters. A lot of you, most of the time, as I always say, let me tell you something, sister. I have said it to you all before. I'm going to say it to you again. Most of the time, a man could have sex with you, sister, and he don't even have to like you to have sex with you. Do you realize that, sister? A man don't have to like you to have sex with you. Cause you see, in the mind of majority of men, they thinking that I'm just having sex with her. I'm not gonna put my mind there or my emotion. I'm just going to hit it. That's what some men be thinking. I'm just gonna hit it. And then there are some women, they try to think like me and say, I got all this stuff going on in my life. All I need is to, go out there and let me hit it. They try to be like a man, but sister, you're not a man. You understand? You're not a man. So women appear to have more problem with the soul tie than men. That's right, auntie, hit it and quit. Most women have more problem with the soul tie than men. What do I mean by that? What do I mean is that the man is not doing what you thought he was going to do. The man, and you see, this another thing too, sister, what goes on in the psychic part. What I mean by the psychic part. Some of you, sister, you don't realize it, but you have somewhat been, your mind have been influenced by Disney cartoons, the Snow Whites, the Sleeping Beauties, and all that kind of stuff. It have affected your mind. You look at the romantic movies on TV. You look at Lifetime and stuff because you're naturally more romantic because you're emotional, sister, right? But that's not the real world. So on the subconscious level, you don't understand that. You think that everything's supposed to be romantic, right? But then you get with this guy, it's not like in the movie. It's not like in the books you read. You understand? He just won't do right. How you doing, Sister Chang? He just will not do right. So you continue to have sex with this man, and he still won't do right. You think if you have sex with the man that you could change the man on a subconscious level. You can't change him. So this man don't want to do right. That's right, auntie. Men don't get attached that quickly. Yes, that's right. So this man doesn't want to do right, sister. And this man, he show you his behind. The same charming man that you met some days ago, he's not that charming no more. He's not charming. He only, yes, that's right, he only wanted you for the physical part. Don't you know, my sister, we men, we know what to say to try to get between your legs. You are studied. Most men use the same game on women. There's nothing new under the sun. He might have to modify his approach or whatever, but like I always say, once the man, most of the time, sister, when a man get between your legs, that's basically it. It's sad to say, but sister, that's basically it. And he could continue to get between your legs for years to come. As long as you open your legs, sister, he gonna keep penetrating you. He don't care whether you go get in a relationship with another man. The average man don't care if you go get in a relationship with another man. The average man does not care if you go get married to another man, long as you come and open your legs for him. That's the ideal thing. If you married, I'm telling you something, you married, so that's the ideal thing. If you married and this man on the side, if he could just get between your legs, he's content. Every now and then, he would drop what he's doing just to get between your legs. And you see, that's the dangerous part, especially when it comes to a married woman. You see, when it comes to a married woman, sister, you could really put yourself in a situation. This man, you're going to be confused between your husband and this other man. You soulmate with your husband, but you so tied to this other guy. You married, sisters. And you just can't let him go. You just can't let him go. And you think, and you see, some of you sisters, some of you married sisters, you go be with this other man and you just open up your whole life to this guy, right? You just open up everything to the man because you feel that you can't verbally communicate with your husband. Let me tell you this, my sister, even though it appears like you cannot verbally communicate with your husband, the man that you're opening yourself up to tell you the truth, he really doesn't want to hear all that stuff you're talking about. He may appear to be concerned. He may appear to be your confidant. He may appear to be the one that you could cry your shoulder on, but really he's doing all of that, sister, because he just want to get between your legs. You got to understand this. He basically just want to get between your legs. The average man, that's all he want to do. That's why it's the best thing for a lot of these guys, because a lot of guys, they don't want to get married now anyway. So if you want to do this and he don't have to invest that much into you, that's what happens. So what happens, sister? And we're going back to the single sister. You get this man your body. And when you get this man your body, he doesn't want to do right. He wants to talk. He wants to start dogging you out. He want to do things right in your face. He start talking to other women. He could not only start talking to other women, he will get married on you. And once he get married on you, you're going to feel hurt. You're going to feel betrayed. You're going to feel bamboozled. But he did not put no gun up to you. He did not put no knife up to you. He didn't threaten you. You willfully gave your body to the man. Now you soul tied to him. And when you soul tied to him, let me tell you what you're going to start. Not only are you hurt, sister. Not only are you hurt, you're going to start feeling bitter towards that man. You're going to start feeling bitter. So what happened? You start feeling bitter to a man that you gave your body to and you soul tied with. And that's how you doing, Sister Deborah Scott. So that's going to affect your next relationship or relationship. And when you meet these other guys, they're going to think that you're crazy. They're going to think that you're crazy because you still got a soul tied to this other guy. You have not resolved it. And that's why, sister, a lot of you go through, you keep going from relationship to relationship, and you thinking that nobody don't want to treat you right. What you don't understand sometimes, sister, is that you're soul tied to someone, and you trying to put a Band-Aid on that situation. It's not finished, which leads to how do you resolve a soul tie and get back your life? My sister and brother, they go for you too, brother. In order to break a soul tie, not a soulmate, because remember, a soulmate is someone that you're serious, committed, and covenant with. A soul tie is someone that you had sex with, and they got their hooks embedded on your mind. They got their hooks embedded in your will, and they got their hooks embedded on your emotions. It's only 3 ways you can do it, my sisters and brothers. But particularly you sisters, it's just 3 ways how you can break it. And you got to listen to me how you break an unhappy soul tie. Number 1, you need help. You got to recognize that you need help. And before I say a counselor, you need something more than the average counselor. How you doing, Brother Larry Walker? You need something more than the average counselor. You, my brother, and you, my sister, you have to go to God through his son Jesus, and you have to say, I messed up. I messed up, God. I put a man or I put a woman on a pedestal. Forgive me for doing that. I put a man and woman on a pedestal instead of your son Jesus. If I would have had sense enough, I shouldn't have done what I did. But now I'm addicted to this man or woman. You have to admit it to God, my brother and sister. You got to say, I'm addicted to this man or woman. Just like you have a drug addiction, alcohol, gambling addiction, sex is an addiction. You need help. And it got to start inside, then it comes out. So you got to go to God for him to break the change. The change that's attached to your mind, that attached to your will, that's attached to your emotion, and especially your body. Because every now and then, my brother and sister, you're going to have a tingle. You're going to want to go back to get that hit. You're going to be going through withdrawals. When you go to God, my brother and sister, you're going to go through withdrawals because you are addicted. You got a soul tie addiction. You're going to go through withdrawal. It's not going to happen like that. And what happened? Like any addiction, once you're going through the withdrawal, you're going to have to stop going to that substance or thing that got you in that bind. So the next thing after you pray to God, my brother and sister, to help you break this unhealthy soul tie with this man or woman that you had sex with and is whipping you, you got to throw away all reminders of that person. You got everything, even whatever that person bought for you, or y'all took pictures or whatever together. You got to eliminate everything that's a reminder of that person. This is a part of your withdrawal. Because if you keep looking at pictures, if you and that person friends on Facebook, or if you're not friends on Facebook or social media, you got to stop going to that man or woman's page, keeping up with him or her. Because all they're going to do is keep bringing back memories. That's all they're going to do. And not it's going to bring back memory what you thought was good. And you're going to try to eliminate in your mind because you're going to go through denial. You don't want to face that bad part. You're going to go through denials. And so while you're going through denials, how you doing, Sister Paula? While you're going through all of these denials, you going through this withdrawal, you got to throw it away. Whatever you got, my brother and sister, that remind you of that person, all pigeon stuff, you need to shred it. Throw it away. Everything. And then the final thing, my brother and sister, how you have to do, and I have said it before, you got to go into serious no contact. You cannot call that person. You cannot text that person. You cannot email that person. You cannot go to that person's house. You cannot go out to dinner with that person. You got to eliminate that person all the way. 100%. You got to go into no contact. While you're not reaching out to that person, that's not saying that that person's not going to reach out to you. Especially you sisters. If a man feel that you're changing, If he feel like, well, not he feel, if he think that he changing, he's gonna call you. He's gonna wear your phone out. He's gonna keep texting you and everything. That's what he's going to do because he's trying to get back with you. And if you break, and he might start out, he might even apologize a little bit, but it won't be real. He might apologize. Majority of the time, it's not going to be real. He just want to get with you. And all he knows to do, I'm going to try what I used to do but my game got to be more advanced. So when he said, my game got to be more advanced, all he really want to do, if he think that if he could sleep with you, that's the ultimate thing. If he could sleep with you, he can get you back. Cause if he able to sleep with you, sister, you going to start that's when you're going through a relapse. Remember, you're addicted. You're gonna go through relapse, and those strings that you was breaking, they're gonna start coiling back up again. So you relapse, and you know you shouldn't have got with him. You know that he was your weakness. You were supposed to be trying to get your life back, sisters. And it also goes for you, brother, but sister appear to have the most problem with the soul tie breaking. So it's 3 things, again, that you, brother, and you, sister, especially you, sister, need to do to break an unhappy soul, a bad soul tie. You pray to the Lord. Sister Kay said, I miss a good one. I have to go to the beginning when it's over. Hello. Yes, sister, I'm going to say that to my page. So if you got this unhappy soul tie, my brother and sister, remember you have to pray to God. God is the only person who can help you. Even if you go to your family and friend, they mean well and stuff. They mean well. They care for you, but they cannot break that tie. Because a lot of time, my brother and sister, when your friend and family, they care for you and they be talking to you what you need to do, you hear, but you don't hear. Because you got to walk that road. You're gonna be walking that road alone. It ain't nothing they could really say or do to break that soul tie. The only person that could break it is God himself. But you got to go tell God you got a problem. You got to admit it. That's the first thing that you have to do, my brother. So when you have any type of addiction, you got to admit it yourself, and then you got to admit it to God. You got to say, I messed up. I'm sorry. I put that person on the pedestal. I should have had Jesus on the pedestal. I messed up. I put myself in a situation. Now deliver me. I need help. And you may go to a counselor, but the best counselor first is Jesus. You see, some of you brothers and sisters, you rather go to your family and friends and talk about your situation than the Lord himself. That's the first person you go to talk to. And I'm telling you, those little items and stuff, those pictures and stuff, you got to throw it away. Everything that man or woman about you, even the TV. If they gave you a TV, you got to go all out. And some of you might think I'm talking crazy, but I'm not talking. You looking at that TV, that person bought that TV, you're going to remember that person bought you the TV. Go get you another TV. They got sales on flat screen. Now, here go another big one. That man and woman, they bought me a car. Sell the car and get you another car. You're going to have to do whatever it takes to get those reminders out of the way, brother and sister. Then the next thing, no contact. Let me tell you when it comes to no contact. You going to want to call that person. You're going to want to call them. I'm telling you, you're going to want to call that person. You're going to want to text that person. You're going to want to see that person. You're going to want to spend time with that person. You are going to want to have sex again with that person. And when you have sex with that person, you're going to be thinking this makeup sex. You see, you don't have to be married with someone to have makeup sex. That's what you're going to be thinking. This is some makeup sex. Maybe, just maybe we can get together. Majority of the time, you're not going to get together. And you can expect that majority of the time when that person notices that, especially if you were doing all the work in the relationship, that man or woman going to eventually notice that you ain't reaching out to him no more. So be ready for him or her to start calling you, texting you, even may do a drive-by to get in contact with you. This is why it's bad for soul tie. I tell you, my brother, I tell you, my sister, it's just like this. It's just like this when you soul tied. It's just like that man or woman was fishing. That man or woman was fishing. And that man or woman knew what hook, what bait to put on that hook. You see, when you go fishing, you can't just put any bait on the hook. Depending on what type of fish you're trying to catch. You can't just put a worm on everything. You got to step it up depending on what type of fish you're trying to catch. So that man and woman figured out what type of fish you are, brother and sister. So as you know, a fisher person, I was about to say a fisher man, but I didn't want to offend on your sister. So a fishing person know what type of bait to put. So they're going to cover up that hook. They're going to throw it out there. You're going to see that bait. You're not going to see you're not paying attention to the hook. Sister Brenda said, that's right, admit you're wrong. That's right, sister. Get rid of the reminder. That's right. And stay away from that person. Amen. And you see, I'm telling you, my brother and sister, once you get to the point where no contact, don't take no phone call. You're going to want to answer that phone. But to avoid that person calling you, block the number. Now, just because you block the number, that don't mean that they're going to call you from another number. He or she might call you from another number. Every number he or she block you, you keep blocking every number. Like when you get these spam calls, that's a spam to you. That man or woman that you were so tired, you got to put in your mind, he or she is a spam. He or she is a spam. This is a spam. And you keep blocking. If they text you, block them. If you're on social media, they're going to try to reach out to you. Block them. They might get another page. Block them. If they come by, say, look, leave my house. Don't come here no more. This is my first and my last warning. I'm decent enough. Don't even open the door. Act like you one of the 3 pigs. Don't act like you that first pig, that house was made out of straw, right? Don't act like you that second pig and your house made out of wood. You be that pig that stayed in the brick house and let that man or woman, that wolf, huff and puff, and they won't blow your house down. Because remember, brother and sister, you stay in the brick house. You don't stay in the straw house. You don't stay in the wooden house, and you do not. But you stay in the brick house. So don't let them blow your house down. Church said, I just like to detox. You have to completely. That's right, sister. You have to completely detach. I know I'm talking to some of you, brother and sister, tonight. This is how you do it. You're gonna go through withdrawals. I'm letting you know now. You're gonna go through withdrawals. Get rid of everything, all reminders, no contact. If you see that person out in the pub, they speak to you, it ain't nothing wrong with you saying, hey, but no contact, no talking. No talking. Just, hey, be decent. Hey, how you doing? They want to talk. I don't have time. You ain't got to be mad. Just say, I don't have time. I got a good show tomorrow night, brothers and sisters. If you stay with me, I got a good show tomorrow night. You want to know what it's about? I'm not going to tell you. You have to tune in tomorrow night. I love you, brothers. I love you, sisters. If you came in on the latter part of the broadcast, I'm going to save it to my page. I hope some of you brothers can come in while we're doing live so you can share some of your thoughts and stuff while I'm talking. I really love that. Your brother Tony here. I love you, brothers. I love you, sister. You all could have been doing something, but you decided to be here with your brother tonight. We family. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. Peace out.